What did you learn from the homework assignment for my last session?
I learned that I'm not alone. As I read through the article you gave me, I learned depression and anxiety prevalence has been found to range from 10 to 30% in college students. The symptoms are experienced by as many as 25% of college students and are associated with poor health outcomes, which could be leading to my poor eating and sleeping habits. I also realized that there is a stigma towards reaching for help, as there seems to often be negative attitudes towards mental illness and mental health seeking.
That is great, Raquel. What about the songs? Did anything stand out to further explain what you feel like you are going through mentally?
At first, I thought the songs were not that hopeful or nice to listen to because I often focus on songs that seem to have a more upbeat, which is what I usually listen to.
Have you ever thought that you might use those songs as a coping mechanism to forget about your problems rather than face them head on? That is
I don't know, maybe.
okay. Let's focus on the two songs I gave you.
Okay, well, the first song, Anxiety by Julia Michaels, there are two specific parts where she says anxiety starts kicking in to teach that shit a lesson, and I'm out of my mind when I'm doing just fine.
The second line is really interesting. Why did you choose it?
I guess since I always feel like I'm riddled with anxiety, it is unsettling when I feel at ease because it seems like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Very good. Now let's move on to Ariana's song, Breathing.
I felt that her song was more of a reminder, even though it seemed to be in a more negative tone.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Well, the two lines that stood out to me would be time goes by and I can't control my mind and I gotta keep breathing. The first line is a subtle reminder that as time goes by, I cannot control what is happening around me, nor can I control my anxiety. I would just have to work through it. And the second one is to remember to take a deep breath and create ease in any possible way you can.
Great, Raquel. Now, lastly, I need you to recall the time you were the most anxious this week and how you overcame it.
I was working on a homework assignment that I pushed off to the last minute due to other obligations. I became easily frustrated and I just wanted to give up. I felt like I was drowning in all the work that had to be done and started to feel defeated. I couldn't focus. I was so close to calling it quits and failing because it was becoming bigger than me. Until I finally remembered the technique you gave me to of closing my eye and taking a deep breath. I was able to complete my assignment and think more clearly just by taking a moment for myself.
That's great, Raquel. I'm glad you used the techniques we had talked about in our last session. Are there any new ones that you might think will help you in the future?
My mom has always told me to count to 10. She said it would help me ease my mind and regain focus.
She's absolutely right. Now our time is almost up, so why don't we finish by going over some key points you learned from this last week that will help you in the future?
Okay, well, after doing my research, I realized that the numbers are on my side and that I am not alone in the battle of anxiety. I'm also really glad that I didn't give in to the negative stigma of mental health and decided to get help. Music for me is a great coping mechanism, but sometimes it challenges me and stops me from moving forward. I have to realize that although music is great, sometimes to get through things, I have to take the outside world away. And finally, I've learned that anxiety is not a weakness, it is part of life. And to follow the techniques you have taught me of taking a break and breathing, because you always need a moment for yourself.